Hey there, high level enthusiast, marketers, and SaaSpreneur. It's JB here, and you're tuned into the podcast that's all about taking your high level game to the new heights. Each week, I bring in top industry experts who dive deep into strategies that drive success specifically for high level users, whether it's getting more customers, leveling up your knowledge, or supercharging your high level with new strategies. We've got you covered. Today's episode is saying goodbye to overcomplicated sales, service, and support. And I'm joined by Cathy Tomas, the founder of SaaS Pro U. Cathy and her team specialize in online training related to sales, marketing, and SaaS, serving business owners, marketers, and SaaSpreneurs using their 3S sales and marketing system. We've put together 3 points that we want to make sure you as our audience get full clarity on. And the first point we're going to be discussing is from chaos to clarity, streamlining your sales pipeline for maximum efficiency. Bullet point 2 is service simplified, which is cutting through the clutter to deliver seamless customer experience. And bullet point number 3 is support without the stress, transforming your support system into a well-oiled machine. Here's what you could expect. As long as you stay tuned in, you're going to receive an episode packed with actionable insights tailored just for you. So without further ado, let's get started. Cathy Tomas, it's great to have you. How have you been?
I've been great. I mean, of course, we're always busy, but good news here. Tripled my team. We're so excited. There's just, I can't even begin to tell you. And it's all thanks to High Level. Really. I mean, it really is. And most of you guys know I'm a big High Level fan. We're an affiliate with High Level. Love me some High Level. But boy, keep it up.
I got goosebumps. The hairs are popping up, right? Like it's just unbelievable. But thank you for the compliment. We always appreciate from our founders, our frontline staff, our leadership, or just our team in team high level in general. We always appreciate when our clients like yourself, our affiliates, our partners really thank us, right? It feels good to know that we're making a difference to complement your business. Look, we decided to jump on together here because we were having a conversation. We're like, there's so many things that we can add value as we start getting into the end of summer and into the new season. How could we level up or help out high level users? And you and I went right to work. And Cathy, I was hoping if you could just give a little bit of context about you, how you got started, just for those that may not know you directly.
Yeah, so it's really kind of a fun story, and I do talk a lot about this in the book coming. I'm not going to give you my whole life story of the last 35 years of sales and marketing because I want to really stick to our 3S that we're going to talk about today. But I will tell you, when I think it was 8 or 9, was when I started my first business. I'm just telling you right out. I realized when I was a kid, my parents didn't give us allowance money, right? They didn't give us oh, you do the laundry, you get 10 cents. No, laundry, cleaning your room, that was expected. But if we did it, we could go to the gas station, or we call it the ice house, and we go get a little 3-cent piece of bubble gum, right? And that's when I kind of started realizing, oh, you need money to get what you want. And I would say I was 8 or 9 years old. My parents were, and if you've been around a while, you've heard of the name Amway, right? They have a lot of cleaning supplies and things like that. And they had gotten like a bunch of stuff. And I said, you know what? I talked to my mom and I was like, I'm going to start a business. And so we lived in the country. And when people say like they literally walked 2 miles in the snow to the bus stop, that was literally where I lived. And they had this little caddy and I put these little cleaners in. And it's just me, 8, 9-year-old girl, just walking down the thing, going to people's house. Can I clean your car out? And I was just cleaning their car out, and they'd give me like 50 cents, $1. And, I started making this money, and I started realizing, yeah, this is what I want to do. But, that was early on. And it's really funny because it wasn't until later, I did all the other kid stuff, worked at McDonald's, worked at Baskin Robbins, waited tables, all that good stuff. But what really kicked off this technology was growing up. My mom had remarried, and my stepdad, who's also, I call him my second dad, but he was a computer programmer, and he was really dorky, right? Because I was like this blonde, blue-haired girl, I was just friends with everybody. And I just finished college, and Office Depot was hiring because they were starting to sell personal computers inside of Office Depot. So I was like, I want this. And I got the interview, and I called my dad and I said, can you help me? I need to learn everything that you can tell me about an individual computer so I can get this job interview. So long story short, I come over there. He's got the whole computer laid out, like the board, the monitor, the keyboard. And I'm just like, oh, what did I get myself into? Right? I was like, oh my gosh, this computer stuff. And then he was explaining Windows 3.11, the operating system, like all this stuff. Here's me. I'm just writing down notes and trying to RAM and, processor and whatever I could do. And I felt like I got enough. But keep in mind, a lot of friends, super social, really simple kind of person. And so I go to the interview. I end up getting the job. And I think it was like 3 or 4 days later, we're on the floor at Office Depot. They had developed this whole new computer department, right? It was like softwares and computers and printers and scanners and, 3.5, it was floppy disk first, then it was 3.5-inch disk. They were like converting into that. I get on the floor and I'm kind of like remembering everything, right? But I'm on the floor with another sales guy. And the sales guy that was with me, I am not kidding, members only jacket, pocket protector, glasses, the word nerd everywhere, but, brilliant, genius guy. And he knew everything that I kind of rushed over, right? Like I just kind of bullet pointed what I knew about the computer, what I could remember, and, just the simple part. And this guy over here, pocket protector, his little jacket, his little Office Depot shirt hanging out. They put both of us on the floor, and I think it was kind of like a roll the dice to see who wins kind of thing, or whatever, I don't know. But I was watching him the whole day, and here's me. And what would happen is somebody would walk in going, I think I need one of those computers. And I was like, well, why do you think you need a computer? Oh, we need to do our bills on it. I heard you could do your, pay your bills and have some spreadsheets and things like, oh, okay. Then you need this computer, right? And so I was asking them these really simple questions like, what do you need the computer for? My group had left. I had sold computers. This guy, I was on a shelf kind of hiding a little bit, listening to what he was saying. And he was going, well, this computer has 52 megabytes of memory, and it has a hard drive of, 100 whatever. And the monitor is 4.5 point whatever inches. And that's all he's telling the people that are coming up wanting to know about this computer. And I'm looking at their faces and seriously, John, they're like, huh? What is this guy talking about? And here's me over here. What do you want to do? Well, I just started a business and I want to create flyers. Oh, awesome. You need this computer. You need this software. And oh, by the way, you need a printer. So they're walking out the door spending twice as much money as they were spending with this guy going, I'm not really sure what I'm buying, but I know I'm supposed to have this computer. And so that is just one instance when this whole 3S sales and marketing system started. I didn't even realize it until about 4 years ago when I sat down. I started writing out every sales job I ever had, every business I ever started. And I started realizing that there was one thing in common, and it was those 3 things: sales, service, and support. And I was like, this is it. It doesn't matter what you're selling: product, service, who you're selling to, people, individuals, business to business. The whole system works for everyone. Why are these guys complicating this so much? And I was like, you know what? That's it. And so 4 years ago, I started writing a book. It is going to be coming out. We are having pre-launch online courses to share because I feel like doing an instructor-led pre-launch, we get intake from our students, and that just makes the final course so much better.
Amazing. So if I get to...
so we want to work with different people to get that in. And we want to learn, because you can be a teacher. And this is why SaaS Pro U is different, because you can be a teacher, but when you have that real world experience, it really enhances the teaching experience and the learner experience. And that's what we want to put together. That's our whole goal.
And I was just thinking about the story, and I think I just got it, right? In the sense of, you were brand new. You knew enough to be dangerous. You have the super geek before Geek Squad was Geek Squad come out, ready to go, going over all the specs.
Right before Geek Squad,
right? And this is like probably, I think around that time, maybe around HP, Hewlett Packard days, Gateway, when
Yep.
IBM like had a, oh my gosh, I remember, I had a compact laptop, but yes, and so, you basically, you came in, you kept it simple, you kept it fun, you kept it energetic, and you solved the problem. You want to do this? No problem. We'll get you this screen, this computer, and that software. Let's walk to aisle 9 and then make our way to the front desk.
Yep. And I did it, John, without reading complicated books. I did it without trying to learn everybody's system in the world. I just kind of created my own. And, and I was so young when that system I didn't even know it was a system then. You know what I mean?
And most people don't know when something's a system. They don't know when they're following a framework. They just, they keep it in the back of them. So you got something somewhere to the back of your mind. Yep. You got in survival mode because you're on the floor. You got to get things done. You're an entrepreneur. You're a hard worker at heart. And you said, I'm going to make this happen. And then definitely you're a competitor. So when you saw this guy meeting people and talking to people like, I'm going in and I'm going for the help. Yeah, I'm with you. So we take all of that and we move that into, and we spoke about this a little earlier, where, a lot of your students appreciating your training, the storytelling, right? Facts will sell something, but stories will sell. And stories will also bring that gap of maybe didn't know, but now I know, right? Yeah. So as we pivot this into from chaos to clarity, and let's say just that example, now we fast track with what you're doing, helping new beginners, adult learners, business people, those that are transitioning careers, those that are running businesses on behalf of their employers with high level, with other software, because you just don't do high level. You have other clients with other softwares that you're helping with. So I want to bring this to high level specifically. So for someone that may be tuning in right now, if you're tuning in live, go ahead and comment below live, right? Because Cathy and I are about to go in on some value here. But for those that are either new to high level or have customers that are new to high level that they're serving, how do you start to streamline the sales pipeline process, just the sales flow for either themselves or their customers? Basically taking that chaos and creating clarity out of it.
And I'll tell you just a tiny little high level, since we're, you're with high level and we're talking about high level. In 2019, it was at the end of the year, I had a very good friend of mine who was running a real estate business, and she had gotten into this software, and we had just done her website for her. And she goes, I really want you to check out the software. So she gave me her login and password. I went in and I was like, gosh, this software has some potential. And keep in mind, it was a white label agency, and felt like I was missing some things, right? And then it wasn't until 2021, well, it was 2020, we got hit with COVID. So we were doing so many e-commerce and online ordering, sites. I got so busy, but I was still logging into hers once a month, trying to make sure she had, a little workflow that worked with her form and all that stuff. And then once that slowed down, I started kind of looking and finding that it was high level, and I got a free trial. And when I got the free trial, I was like, whoa, there's so much more in what I'm seeing than what she's seeing. And the reason why I'm saying this, John, is because it goes into the overcomplicated but yet simplifying deal. If that person had given her all of the features, whether it was me or another marketer or somebody else or just her, even though it was a lot of features, they missed the boat. That customer left. They ended up being my customer. They got all the bells and whistles. They don't know what all the bells and whistles do, but they're ready. They see it and they know it's coming. And so with high level, one of the things that I hear a lot of people say is like, don't show them everything or don't give them everything. And I'm like, you're going to lose somebody because they're going to say, I want to create a course, and you're hiding courses and memberships. And then one day they want to create a course and they're going to go off and find a course creator because you didn't share with them that they didn't see course membership or you didn't share it. So there's a way to kind of throw up on everybody and tell them all the features of high level, which is again going to be the nerdy guy at Office Depot with the customer staring at him going, huh? And that's what I see happen a lot, where when you're jumping into high level, whether you're an agency or you're serving business to business, business to consumer, you've got to give them everything. You're giving them all the bells and whistles, But what you're doing is you've asked the right questions to get them started. And one of the things that I loved, and this is what put the book on hold, literally, is because last year, right before Level Up, I took the SaaSpreneur course. I, started really, really diving into high level, right? The concepts of the selling, and who better to learn from than high level directly. And so I took the SaaSpreneur with Paulson, and I took that course. I paid for it, right? Got my swag. That's what got the beanie name and all that stuff. And when I took it, I started realizing, wow, this actually complements my 3S sales and marketing system. And let me tell you where this happens. The sales part is what we're talking about. In the 3S system, you have sales, service, and support. We'll get to the other two here in just a second. But in the sales, it's so important because that's how you capture, nurture, close. Who says that? High level, capture, nurture, close. And high level, when I heard that, I was like, this is the piece that we need to be sharing in our sales and marketing system in the sales portion. Because if you don't do those things, then you're not going to get the sale. You got to get the sale, right?
Absolutely. And getting the sale is important, whether it's for you as an agency, SaaSpreneur, or for your customer that you're bringing on. So how does somebody in high level, with a few minutes that you could share with us, how do you create that clarity from a sales perspective using high level? How have you seen your customers or your students use your framework or your style and make it clear and easy? Because that's always something.
Yep. So we still have 10 agency clients that we kept, our top 10. These are people that I've been friends with for 20, 30 years. So when I use them as examples, if an agency tries to call, it's like, sorry, dude, we already know Cathy, kind of thing. So, but having them has given us more of a real world experience. So when I first brought people in, I was like, I got the software and I was like, you're going to be my beta customer, okay? Even though I wasn't always really in beta, but they were beta to mine. So we brought these customers in. We started training on the aspects of the software. And what was interesting was when we were training, the customers were asking different questions about the software. So that kind of was like, oh, we need to create a piece of content for that. We need to create a video for that. We need to create a video for that. But what we did was we listened to the agencies as they were coming in. It wasn't like we knew, let me go backwards here for a second. We knew that we were managing their websites. And we knew, and this is why we originally were on Active Campaign and then moved to high level. We knew that a website needed to capture data. And we needed to store that data somewhere so we could do what? Sell to them, capture them, nurture them, close them, right? So what we did was we were like, you need a form. So we started with just the very simple thing. And every time I'm talking to agencies, I'm like, guys, just put a form on a website or put a chat widget on the website and just get started there. Because the first time that person comes in, it's going to go up on their phone and blow up because you set a notification. It's going to show up in their email. And that person's going to be like, whoa. And then we're going to be like, oh, you need to look up that customer? Just go back in your software. There they are, right in your contacts. You would be surprised at how many businesses still are not using just that small, simple data management tool, right? Just a simple tool, to capture stuff. And now we've got like all these integrations, right? We can have Facebook come in, we can have Instagram come in, right?
You bring up a very great point. And my mind is spinning here, like a Ford Mustang, 0 to 60 quick, right? You got me going, and I got the mute button on myself on purpose because I'll end up talking over you by accident out of excitement. You got me going here. But so, I think the chaos is you bring a customer in, and then you try to get all the bells and whistles done. You try to activate all the features.
Yeah.
You get all excited because you want to earn their business. You want to impress them. So what you're saying is start with two of the basics, which is the communication end of things. Make sure you're replacing all the forms on their site. So instead of it going to their email, it goes into the high level, and then the data, and then the chat is another option where you can make sure that information flows in. And then, like you had mentioned, they'll get a bunch of notifications, which they normally would have, or maybe not paid attention to. and then you can connect that to another feature. Something else that popped out with me that you had shared was you did a lot of educating by video and as you go. And I'm sure it's evolved over the years, but as you educated them, it unlocked other questions. And then I think what you had mentioned was those questions were specific to them. So right off the bat, if I'm listening to this for the first time and I'm getting into high level, or I'm super techie and I'm just overcomplicating everything without noticing it, keep it simple with capturing the data so you could do other things with it, and then educate, whether it's recorded video, membership, or Looms. And that will start to unlock more interest. Am I on the right page on how I'm?
And I'll tell you what, John, that's how it got started, because they said, hey, I saw your social planner videos. Do you do that for agencies? And I was like, sure, I'll white label it for you. So I white labeled it and said, here you go. And that's been great. But they love the training because it's not formal training. It's real world training. We're saying in our white label courses, how to apply this to your business. And we're leaving it open because we know it's going to work for a variety of industries and business. So we're saying, here's a feature, here's the form, integrate this into your website. This is building your database. And one of the stories that I love saying, and I won't even tell a story, I'll just tell you, look at Amazon. Let's go back to the 90s when we were just getting our computers. They were selling books, right? And so what Amazon did right was they collected data. It's a very simple thing. Collect the data. That's why people are buying email lists for thousands of dollars and things like that. But you collect the data. You bought this book. Cathy bought a business book. All right, Cathy gets a business book. And I talk about this on one of my YouTube videos. I got this business book. All right, cool. Now Amazon's going, well, if she likes business, she's probably going to want one of those computers. Let's start selling computers online. Let's start selling software online. So they were collecting data, tagging in a sense of Cathy bought a business book. Cathy bought a computer. Cathy bought a computer. She probably needs a printer. Let's show her these new printers, right? And if you look today, all the way to today, Amazon has collected your data to provide you with the email upsells, the cross sells, which we talk about in the support section. So collecting that data from the very beginning, they may not be ready to buy today, but you've got that data for 3, 6, a year, whatever it is that your sales process or your sales cycle is, you have that data and now you can use it. So what I'm saying really, John, is capture the data. Start with something really simple. Once you capture that data, that's when you can start to share with them. And every one of my customers knows how to build a workflow. They know how to, they know the most complicated part of the software to the simple part of the software. And I did that because I didn't want to have a big, huge, crazy support team. I wanted to have an easy to use in-house someone. Okay, you watch the video, now you do this. You have to teach people how to treat you, right? We heard that a long time ago. Teach people how to treat you. Well, you've got to teach your customers how to use you. You got to teach your customers how to use the software. And there's a lot of people out there I know that make a lot of money doing it for them, because you do have those 3 types of buyers. The person that says, okay, I want to do it all myself and I'm going to save money and I want to learn it because this is what I want to do. You got the middle person that says, I kind of want some of it, And even just literally yesterday, I had a lady email me and she goes, how much would it cost to build a website? And I said, you've got all that training in there. I said, why don't you just do it for free? There's even templates in there. And she goes, oh, she goes, you know me so well, right? So she was going to go learn. So now she's going to take the website course. She's going to go learn it. She's going to build a website. She's going to come back. Some of it she did. And she's going to have some questions. If she was that do it for you person, she would have said, oh, here's $3-5 build my website. I'm out of here. So you got to remember your 3 types of buyers when you're trying to sell to them.
Absolutely. And I think
we should talk about the service and support too.
I agree. And I think, the simplicity here, if you're tuning in right now live with us, go ahead and comment below forms and capture. Forms is a simplicity, take action immediately. Make sure your forms, make sure your client that you're putting on high level or your high level, you have the embed forms on your page so that way people can fill in information, as well as put in the chat widget. Make sure you activate your chat widget so that way people can contact you with their information. You can start using that information to remarket and recommunicate. So awesome stuff here. Like you mentioned before,
simple, right?
It does, but here,
simple, but you miss the boat if you don't do the simple thing.
and you hit it, you hit the nail so hard into the wood that we need to grab another nail. All right, and the point here is that simplicity is sometimes scarcity because we're so used to overcomplicate, especially if we're techie, or especially if we are consuming a lot of information. We think it's too good to be true. So let's pivot here to service. And you had mentioned, the clutter can get in the way, and when that clutter gets in the way so much, customers feel that they're not getting customer service, they're not getting the attention they want. Could you talk a little bit about how you cut that clutter? How do you simplify service to your existing customers?
Yeah, so we talk about the sales, that's getting the sale, and we'll use high level terms, capture, nurture, close. And then once we get them in, we have to service that customer. Now, there's a third piece to this. So this is the very most important part of all of it. And the service part is what happens after the sale. This is all dependent on your process. Are you selling products or services? And you literally, and I teach people, you've got to write down what your sales process is. You've got to write down what your service process is. The second they buy high level, what is the first thing you do? Are you setting it up for them? Are you giving them tools to tell them to go set it up themselves? Are you doing all of it for them? And what's the form or what's the data that you need, right? We call it your onboarding, right? With high level. They're done. When do you onboard the client? Is it after you've created their account, or do you just say, here's your software, go for it, right? And that's where the overcomplicated comes in. And this is where we need to remember why the business owner bought the software, why the business owner bought your product or service. Now it's time to really educate. Handheld. This is the most important piece of all of it. And I talk to business owners all the time, and they'll be like, oh, you know what? We've got our sales process down, but we don't have our service and we don't have our support process. So they got this one down. And then when I show them the other pieces, next thing you know, they go from 200,000 to 500,000. And it's because you're now following the process. We're not upselling. We're not cross-selling in the service section. What we're doing is we're fulfilling what they've bought. They bought a website, they bought the software, they bought, a candle, a bike, it's a delivery thing, whatever it is, that service, you have to have that process, and it's got to be really simple. Don't sit there and say, okay, now we're going to teach you on all the 25 menu features to the left side of high level and let's get going. No, what we did was we formally concentrated on the CRM portion, contacts, conversations, and opportunities. Get them in using and understanding that. And I will tell you, we did it in the 90-day, literally in 90 days. We said, first 30 days, you're going to download the app, you're going to get in the software, you're going to get contacts, conversations, and opportunities. You're going to understand how your pipeline works, how your flow works, right? Helping them build their sales process kind of thing. After the 30 days, then we'll go into the features of what they specifically needed for their business. That's when if they came in as a coach or a consultant, then now we need to talk about memberships and communities, right? Which we didn't have that, 4 years ago. But if that's their focus, if their other focus is email campaigns, right? Then we focus on email campaigns. Then we focus on automation, right? Payments, right? Okay. What's going on with payment? You get what I'm saying. You don't sit there and say, here you go. Did they need a calendar, right? Is the person that you're working with needing a calendar? Well, that should be a primary focus in that first 30 days. Contacts, conversations, calendar. Contacts, conversations, payments. Contacts, conversations, right? The things that they're going to need and use every single day. That's your focus. Then we go into the next 30 days and say, after 30 days, we're going to start working on your social media, because you need to drive business. We're going to start working on your email campaigns. We're going to send out an email to all your current customers, letting them know that you have a new system. Would you like to opt into my email? Right? You're warming up your email and your texting, right? So then when we get to the 90 days, they start to get more advanced. And I remember I tell customers, by 90 days, you'll be able to make your own workflow. And they're like, what? And by 90 days, I guarantee I got an email every time. Hey, I made my first workflow. Will you check it for me? Not do it for you. Now I'm checking it for you because I taught you how to use your software as a business owner. Business owners want to stay in control. Again, goes back to the 3 different buyers, depending on your buyer type. But
Absolutely.
the service portion really is nail that service down. What happens after the sell? Nail it right there. Then we go into the support. And I'm not talking about support like, help desk support. Everyone always says, "Oh, I, got to do help desk support or whatever."
But before we get to support, because
I'm getting excited.
No, it's all good. It's I think that,
and I don't know where we're at on time, so I'm just like,
no, there's so much to unpack here, right? And I think with what you've been building out the last couple of years, right, your experience and your overall enthusiasm for what you do every day plays a big part. And I think we might have for those that are new to all of this, enthusiasm, mindset, and energy are so important. Having a written down plan are key. And that's what gets you into what we've spoken about, which is chaos to clarity, right? We have a plan. And then you've mentioned a whole bunch of things around service. So, if I just unpack this for a new user or even an advanced user that might not be in the weeds as much as they used to, having a clear onboarding process where they're asking their customers the questions that they need to run their business, and then showing them the components, like you said, conversation, contacts, and opportunities, that allows them to understand like the cash register of the CRM, the cash register of the software, because without those 3 components, you don't have business. And I like how you put that together and how you shared it. And then you've got into more of, adding one more important feature that you need in addition to that. And then within the 90 days, have a goal, which was build your own workflow. And I think, for those that are new to high level, they may not understand the value of the automation trees or the workflows quite yet. Or for those that are switching softwares that are using it now, that automation tree, that workflow really makes it easy for you to not have to pull the levers and push the buttons each time. And they're trigger based, and it's smooth operation, right? And you teach that to your clients and to business owners of all different backgrounds. Question for you is, when do you know you're doing a great job with service?
When they don't email me, when they don't call me. There's two things about silence that you need to look at. Is it a good silence or is it a bad silence? Is it crickets? Like, did they log in? Are they using it? Or are they using it and they don't need my help? And so you really need to pay attention to your customers. When you create that pipeline for them and you've had the form go into the new lead, when you log in and you see all the new leads not there, they're not calling the leads, right? And when they come back to you and say, your software doesn't work, well, you didn't call the leads. And I never have a problem telling a customer, well, you need to do this in order to have your business be successful. And a lot of agencies kind of get into this thing of like, I don't want to lose a customer. I have this money in my pocket and it's my first 97 sell or it's my first 297 sell. And, I don't want to lose the customer. And so then you're just like, feeding and emailing them every week going, you have all these leads in your pipeline and you're not calling them, you're not moving them in your stage, you're not managing your business. And so that person is kind of like, I call it the cricket person. And if they're never going to do it, they're never going to be, their business is never going to run, period, end of story. And I will tell you, in my experience, I've had 3 customers canceled because they closed their business because they weren't doing what we told them to do. And then the other, 50 to 100 other agency customers were doing it and exploding. In fact, in the middle of COVID, I had a catering company and we grew sales. We did everything I told them to do, right on the money, went from about 250 to a little over $500,000. In the middle of COVID, the guy buys a restaurant, starts a restaurant in the middle of COVID, and then 2 years later sells that. Now he's over $1 million. He's running his catering. He did his little life thing. He wanted to start a business. He did it. He ran it. He made money, and then he sold it because he says, "I'm just a chef. I'm going to go back into catering." But I'm watching these people do what we tell them to do. And the bottom line is you as an agency can't just sit there and say, well, I'm just going to, you can't call, you don't run their business, and you're not the salesperson for the car lot or for the salon. You're not booking salon appointments. If that's your business, then that's your business model, right? And you're doing it. But the business owner at some point has to take responsibility. And it's up to us to teach those business owners the responsibility that they need to stay in business. Period. End of story. And
I'll say
different people.
Absolutely. And here are a few takeaways.
Like a downer there, but it's like if the business owner isn't ready, they're not ready.
Absolutely. And these are a few takeaways that I took just off the top of my head. Obviously having an onboarding form, asking the right questions, understanding the business from their point of view, having them get on the app, having them get familiar with how to use context, conversations, and the pipeline opportunities, staying in contact with them, appreciating silence, the right silence, but knowing that if there's no login, no KPIs, no engagement, that's a bad silence, and you should tackle that because there may be a missing of lack of education. Yep. And you service by educating is my biggest takeaway. You service by educating and keeping your hand on the pulse. Mm-hmm. Am I accurate on that?
Absolutely. And if you're making training videos like what we do, we broke it down. Everybody wants the full-on course, and we provide that free. Like, you can literally go and sign up for my course for free. We're updating it so you can get the free one, till we get the updates. It's all there. I mean, high level's changing stuff every day, right?
And I think that's the biggest thing is for you to have in your mind when working with your customers that what you have today can change slightly tomorrow or 30 days from now.
It's going to.
and so with that in mind, we pivot over to support. And I know that you jumped into this earlier when you were speaking about service, because they do work hand in hand, but they are in their own respective buckets at the end of the day. With the amount of volume is obviously important with how many customers you bring on, or how many customers your customer has. Mm-hmm. Support without the stress sounds too good to be true. But I'm sure that if you have the right systems and the right guidance and the right understanding, it can be less stressful than normal. How do you go about as an agency, as a marketer, or even as a business to put a system in place for support that's considered a well-oiled machine? Where does that start and how does that begin?
Well, let me tell you, and this goes back to what you were just talking about just a minute ago. So when you create your training video, whether it's ours or somebody else, do it in little bitty pockets of 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, it's very important. These business owners do not have time to take a 7-week training course. They don't. Keep it very simple. And if you're providing them a video, right, that they can watch, like maybe 3 quick videos or 1 quick video, and which is why we do the automation where, the first week we focus on, getting your onboarding stuff set up. Next time we focus on really understanding contacts, right? This is the piece of contacts. This is the second piece of contacts. This is the third. Break it into smaller pieces. And this is what's great about having the community, because now you can put these in your learning center and they're like, today I want to make sure I'm getting everything about contacts I need to. By the time they watch these little videos, it's 20, 30 minutes, but they've gotten exactly what they need as a business owner quick. We call them, there's micro courses and macro courses, right? Business owners think micro. They need something quick, even if it's sending in an email. So this is where support comes into play. You're going to love this, and I'm never going to negate this, but database reactivation has been big and high level. And the reason why it's big is because the business owners weren't doing what they should have been doing from the beginning, collecting that data. So when you have that business owner that comes in, you've got to use those database marketing tools, because that's money that the business owner, it's a quick win, right? Getting them in, getting their business. But if we were doing things from the beginning, they started out with sales, they went to service, right? We got them onboarded. Now we're going to support them. We've got different workflows based on what products they purchased. I always say inspire, educate, engage, and promote. That's what you're doing in your support system. It's not necessarily technical support. Provide them with a quick video, education. once a week. Hey, they're using the contacts feature. Send them a contacts video. Go watch this video. This is a quick tip on this, right? Staying engaged with them. What referrals, what recommendations, right? Send them an inspirational quote. These are business owners. They need you. You are their support. They don't have anybody else. So as a marketing business, we should be inspiring our customers, encouraging them to go and, do whatever it is their business is and really get to know their business and provide them you're not consulting, but you're consulting, right? You're encouraging them, you're motivating them, you're inspiring them is really the best word. And then in the 3S system, you also have your promotion for upsells, cross sells, right? Things like that. When you get a new product or when you get a new service in or you get something else, maybe it's not even just a new product or service. Maybe it's just we have a new communities. Go check it out. Maybe this will work for your business, blah, 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 right? So support is more building those campaigns that are going to be long lasting. So you're never having to create a database reactivation campaign. You only do that when the new customer comes in and they have so many contacts and you say, remember when I said, when I talk to business owners, they feel like they're missing 1 or 2 or 3 pieces. They might be doing sales really great. They might be doing service really great, but they're missing the support. That's why the database reactivation comes into play, because they're missing this piece. And as an agency, we're like, oh, well, we'll do this and they'll love us for life. And it's true, they will. But if you can start from the beginning, you're doing all the things right in your business with sales, service, and then support by continuing those campaigns and not always selling, inspiring, educating, engaging with them. Maybe it's a quick quick survey, 5 questions. What do you feel like, what feature do you feel like you're not using of the software that you would like to learn, right? And then that gives you that balance. And when I do my 90-day success action plan, it's cool because we teach people really how to plan out the campaigns and things like that. But if you do things in 90-day increments, you can think of these as quarterly business reviews. We've heard a lot of great agencies focus on that. And it's true. Think of it like quarterly business review. That's a great support kind of campaign that you can do for your business. Software reviews, whatever it is related to their business, that's really what the support is. When people ask me about support, like I need support for my software, I got to tell you, we've had over 100 people in there. We've paid a lot of money. We now have 1 person. The emails are minimal. So
I think the reason why you don't have a lot of support is because you tackle it from the sales perspective, right? From chaos to clarity, you're teaching them different features within the plan that you have. And we talk about the forms and the chat. So they always have a communication with you, and you throw in some surveys as you go. And then the service, you're continuing on with what you did prior to that. And really the support is just maybe they're thinking about an idea of implementing for their customers, or they're looking to offer or learn something new about the software. So if done right, it's already being done from the get-go, which is amazing. Exactly. It's amazing. Exactly. Now, Cathy, and just for the audience tuning in here, go ahead and type in below where you feel that you need a little bit more help. Do you need more help making a little bit of the chaos of starting up, or maybe moving things around to be more clarity? Do you need help with maybe simplifying your service level agreements, how you communicate with your clients, with fulfillment, onboarding? Maybe you don't even have a plan already set. You're kind of just winging it because you don't know what you don't know. Or is it with the support? Is it because the support, you're getting a lot of support tickets, a lot of frustrated customers, or somebody that wants you to spend hours with them to learn the software every other day, right? What's bothering you? What do you feel is holding you back? Make a comment below, and we'll get right back to you with some help on that. And Cathy will be looking at the comments as well. I think the biggest thing here, Cathy, from my takeaway from you, is your business model is educating everybody that will be using the software. And let's just use high level as this prime example. If they're using high level, you're educating them about high level, but how to use it in, like you said, real world experiences. Like not just how to use it as, here's the platform, but here's how you use it for your business. And I think the biggest thing for a lot of people is that they get so caught up sometimes in the early stages or in the advanced stages of either I'm just going to give them what they need and they'll figure it out, or we're looking to scale, and we forget some of the customers in between are not at that, they're not ready to scale. As we wrap up this episode, Cathy, can you share maybe, your theory, your philosophy, your vision on how somebody should take this information and implement it? You watch this episode on a replay. What should they really get from it, and how do they take action on it?
Well, I think the biggest thing to do first is whatever you're doing in your business. I don't care if you have, 10,000 sub accounts or 10 sub accounts. You, as an agency, utilizing high-level software, you have got to, I'll show you something. Get one of these and a pencil, okay? Just this and a pencil. And write down what's working, what's not working, what's lacking. And I always tell this too when they're hiring VAs, hire when it hurts. Do I need to bring in somebody to answer those emails, to be the traffic controller that says, go here, do this, or be somebody that's actually going to do that work? And I have a great team. Every one of my team specializes in specific things because they're good at it. And I had to write a list out, like, what do I want to do? What can they do? What can I get off my chest? Where can I fix this, issue? People are taking this course, but still asking this same question. Oh, we need to record a 2-minute video on answering this and put it into the course, right? You need to sit down and just think, grab a cup of coffee, go somewhere, put your process into place. What is your sales process? What is your service process? What are you doing as an agency for onboarding? Are you outsourcing it? Are you doing it yourself? What are you doing? And how can you make that better? And then your support, how can you, inspire, educate, engage, and promote additional products? And maybe you don't have additional products yet. Maybe that's something you need to grab your piece of paper and go, you know what? We need to start offering membership courses, or we need to start offering marketing campaigns, or we could upsell or add more money to our revenue here. So whether you're at 10 or 10,000, it doesn't matter. If you don't take the time to plan and create your process, it's never going to be perfect. You're always going to tweak it. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into high-level pipeline and have sales, service, and support, and gone into sales, service, and support, changed the pipeline to something else, move that over, so we don't need that anymore. And use your software to help you create your pipelines and literally have a system in place to do it. But start somewhere here first, and really, plan it on what's in your business. And I guarantee you, I can make you this promise because I've seen it happen. If you do it, you're going to see your customers happy. You're going to see your revenue decrease. And if you do the right pricing, you'll see your profit increase. So you just need to do these 3 things together. And I promise you, you'll see 20% growth. You might even see 95% growth just in your business. And when you're talking to your customers about high level or their software, and you're saying, look, and I give these videos so you can use it as part of our certification with the 3S Sales and Marketing System, so you can use it for your customers. Hey, Johnny, running a restaurant, which one are you doing great? Are you doing great on getting people in the door, or do you need more people in the door? Are you doing great on after they come in? Are you giving them a rewards program? What are you doing after they order, they buy, right? What are you doing to keep them coming in the door? And I know High Level's got some fun new features coming, and I'm really excited about all of the stuff that's happening. So anything I can be a part of, it's going to fit no matter what, because I'm telling you, from 8-9 years old to today, that system works. Doesn't matter what you're selling.
I love it. And here's what I want. Here's what I want the audience to know is, everything that we do at High Level is in collaboration with our users. And, I met Cathy because she's part of our Facebook group. She's part of different programs that she participates in. She shares value. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, get in the Facebook group, official community, official high level community on Facebook. But go ahead and do me a favor here. Type in the chat below 1% better. The goal of after you watching this video is to get 1% better. And Cathy just summarized, map out your plan, map out your process, your customer journey. And if you map that out, you'll be able to fill in the gaps and make adjustments as needed. As always, our high-level spotlight sessions are here to show you support. We highlight professionals like Cathy within our community. Results may vary. We ask that if you have not yet become a high-level customer or you have not experienced a high-level trial, click the link below. Cathy, thank you so much for basically dumping all of your passion, excitement, and knowledge that you have with high-level to our community. It was an absolute honor to chat with you, and also for you to school us. So thank you so very much. To our audience, thank you for tuning in. Again, type below 1% better. We got more of these episodes coming at you. Cathy has a link below with more information on how to get a hold of her, how to learn about SaaS Pro U, and we have some more goodies in the comments and descriptions below. Till next time, we'll see you. Have a great one and go high level.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Take care.